37-year-old Erika Lloyd lived in Walnut Creek, California, with a roommate, her 2 pet rabbits, and her 12-year-old son. According to her family, she was kind, fun, and able to get along with anyone. Like many people, Erika was struggling with the effects of the lockdown implemented in 2020. She worked as a hairstylist, and was therefore stressed from being unable to generate income. She was also struggling with the pressure of adequately homeschooling her son. In June of 2020, she therefore decided to go on a camping trip to Joshua Tree National Park, 7 hours away from her home. She hoped the time in the outdoors would help relieve some of the stress she had been feeling for the past 3 months. Erika left for her trip on Sunday, June 14th. Authorities would later be able to confirm that she entered the park and was seen there alone. However, 2 days later, on June 16th, Erika stopped communicating with her family. That same day, California Highway Patrol found Erika's black Honda Accord near the intersection of Shelton Road and Highway 62, near 29 Palms. The car was facing south, as though Erika had been driving back to the national park, which was not very far away. The car had been vandalized, with the front and back windshields, as well as the radio, smashed in. However, there were also signs that the disabled vehicle had been in an accident. The airbag had deployed, and there was damage to the car's undercarriage. According to the owners of the towing company who came to tow the car away, the radiator and the AC condenser had been smashed backwards, as though the car had hit a large object. They theorized that the car may have hit the berm of the road straight on. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department does not believe that there were any signs of foul play at the scene where the car was found. A massive air and ground search was launched for Erika. All-terrain vehicles and search dogs were brought in. Erika's camping equipment was located at a campsite at the Jumbo Rocks campground. Cave and mine expert Doug Billings has volunteered his services to the effort. In 2014, Billings helped locate the body of a 19-year-old named Aaron Corwin in a mine not far from Joshua Tree. In addition to searching for Erika, he is keeping meticulous track of what areas have been searched for her. During the course of his investigation, Billings found a witness who saw a woman matching Erika's description walking along Highway 62 with another person a week after her disappearance, but this sighting has not been confirmed to be of Erika. It is conceivable that Erika could have walked to Highway 62 looking for help after her car was damaged, and the wrong individual stopped to help her. Her family is also concerned that she may have become disoriented or suffered memory loss after suffering the impact of the airbag deploying during the accident. If she wandered off in a state of confusion, it could have been difficult for her to find her way back to the road. As of the end of July 2020, they held on to the possibility that someone may have found Erika, still confused and disoriented, and taken her in. Erika's parents live in Maryland, but have traveled to California twice since Erika vanished to help look for her. They are appreciative of the kindness the local community has shown them, and their willingness to talk about the case and put up the flyers they have been distributing in the windows of their businesses. Erika's son misses his mother and regularly asks his grandparents about their efforts, making sure they are still making phone calls and talking to people about his mom in hopes that she will be found. Detreck Foster could seemingly make friends with just about anyone he met. He was outgoing and compassionate, and therefore had a wide and diverse group of friends. He was quick to help out his family and friends, particularly when he could do so by cooking or baking for them. He was a joy to be around, and loved to make others laugh. He was a good listener, who was always there for people who needed to talk, but also a very clear communicator, who could easily express himself about the things he was passionate about. Detreck had previously worked as a corrections officer, and was able to combine his love of travel with his career history, and work mainly as a traveling crisis or tactical private security officer. In 2020, he, like many people, was in between jobs because of virus-related shutdowns and travel restrictions. He had found a new position at FedEx, and was due to start work there in April. While Detreck loved his whole family, his 2 daughters, ages 5 and 13, were the center of his world. He and their mother, Jordan, were divorced, but maintained a good relationship. Jordan and the girls lived in Kansas City, whereas Detreck lived in Independence, Kansas, but he was still an active part of their lives. Jordan last heard from Detreck on April 4th, 2020. He called to tell her that his prepaid cell phone would be shut off in the next few days, but he would have a new phone soon. This was a perfectly normal conversation, as Detreck and Jordan spoke on the phone regularly, and he was always sure to let someone know where he would be or how to contact him. Jordan was concerned, therefore, when her normal communications with her ex-husband did not resume after a few days. She became alarmed, however, when he did not call her on Mother's Day, May 10th. Detreck would call Jordan, his twin sister, and his mother every Mother's Day without fail. He was very close with his mother, so even if he had to skip the other two calls for some reason, nothing could have stopped him from calling her. While all of the people Detreck was close to had been concerned by the fact that they were not hearing from him, no one realized that no one had heard from him until Mother's Day, when they began reaching out to each other when he failed to make his customary calls. While Detreck would see his loved ones when he could, they were spread out. Most of his family lived in Parsons, Kansas, while he was in Independence, and Jordan and the girls were in Kansas City. This meant that his family and friends were not necessarily alarmed when they had not seen him in person in a few weeks. The family then went to the police in Independence to report Detreck missing. The police have identified the last known sighting of Detreck as being in Independence on April 12th. Detreck's family distributed and hung flyers throughout the area with Detreck's picture and information. However, many of the flyers hung in Independence were removed, leading to concerns that someone in the town may have been connected to his disappearance, but no motive for anyone to want to harm Detreck has been identified. The Independence Police Department has not been able to publicly speak about their investigation due to its ongoing nature, but say that it is a top priority. Detreck's family believes that they are working hard on the case and appreciate their efforts. Since he disappeared, Detreck has missed both of his daughter's birthdays, and his twin sister's 38th birthday. In addition to his traditional calls on Mother's Day, he missed his normal call to his father on Father's Day. Of course, it is emotionally painful, especially given that Father's Day was Sunday and I couldn't get a call from him, and his daughters couldn't call him. His father, Philip Townsend, told the Parsons Sun in June. It's taxing in that nature. Anytime you can't get closure to something, that void, it's just there. Someone knows something. My great day will be them getting closure to this. Detreck knows that his family loves him. "29-year-old Lauren Dumolo lived in Cape Coral, Florida, where she shared an apartment with her boyfriend, Gabriel, on Coronado Parkway. Gabriel would be the last known person to see her, and the apartment would be the last place she would be seen. According to Gabriel, Lauren was still sleeping when he left for work shortly after 6 a.m. on Friday, June 19, 2020. When he returned home that evening, Lauren was not in the apartment, but her cell phone was. She would not normally leave home without it. Gabriel then called Lauren's father, Paul, in California, to tell him Lauren was not at home as expected. Paul was immediately concerned, and his worry increased throughout the weekend. On Sunday the 21st, Lauren did not call him for Father's Day, which was something she had previously never failed to do. Gabriel reported her missing that day, although her case was not assigned until Wednesday the 24th, due to a clerical error. When the formal investigation began, and police realized the circumstances of the case, Lauren was reclassified from a missing adult to a missing endangered adult. Lauren's family did not wait for police involvement to look for her. Her father flew in from California, and her sister and mother went to Lauren's apartment from their homes in Florida. They began physically searching for Lauren, going door to door asking for information and distributing flyers. Four Freedoms Park, a half a mile away from Lauren's home, has played a major part in her case from the beginning. Lauren visited the park regularly and liked to meditate there. On June 19th, the same day Lauren disappeared, someone found her purse, left at the park. On July 2nd, Lauren's boyfriend Gabriel and her sister Cassie were searching the park when they found a burgundy shirt in the sand near the water. They believe that the shirt belongs to Lauren, as it matches one Lauren regularly wore. The concerning aspect of this discovery is that the park had been searched multiple times since Lauren went missing. The shirt was taken into evidence by police. Lauren's family is adamant that she would not have voluntarily disappeared. The main reason they can be so sure is Lauren's daughter, who turned 6 2 months after Lauren's disappearance and was the center of Lauren's universe. Lauren also did not have access to a car or any money with her when she went missing. She had recently lost her job due to the economic impact of the pandemic, but was still owed one more paycheck, which she never picked up. Surveillance footage also shows her applying for jobs on June 18th, the day before she went missing. As the police investigation continues, Lauren's family also continues their own efforts to find her. Southwest Florida Crime Stoppers is currently offering an $8,000 reward for information in the case.